Opening statement. I was asked to read these articles as a point of interest. I hold no opinion or political views related to this topic, or choose any sides. For further information, please PM me for source information. Thank you. Take a look at China on the western side of the Pacific Ocean, which 3 months ago was the most severe and dangerous country with the highest risk for infection and death. The country that some of us show ridicule, calumny, and barely conceal racism, now is fast becoming the safest place with the lowest risk of infections in the world. Although a group of people have long been skeptical of Chinese numbers, we cannot ignore the fact that China is returning to normal. And just weeks ago, their government has classified the coronavirus epicenter, Wuhan, a low-risk area. Their economy is being revived and rekindled step by step. Our country, as the most powerful country on earth, with its advanced healthcare system and resources, has responded so awfully to the outbreak. Facing criticism, scrutiny over government's own handling of the pandemic, our president, on the one hand, claimed America has produced better health outcomes than any other country, with the possible exception of Germany. On the other hand, claimed China was #1 in coronavirus deaths. Instead of conquering the virus timely, China has regarded as the most dangerous enemy savingly. Yes. He is leading us in the wrong direction.
This is like a flu.
What a shame. Obviously, our president is looking for a scapegoat. It is well known that our president received his first formal notification of the outbreak of the coronavirus in China on January 3rd, 2020. And from January 3rd, some convincing evidence showed that U.S. officials received the warning from China. But just as a report of Washington Post shared with us, it took 70 days for our president to treat the coronavirus as lethal. Headlines, the Washington Post. The U.S. was beset by denial and dysfunction as the coronavirus raged.
Anybody that wants a test can get a test.
We have to admit that some of the officials have proven to be blinded by its own hubris. In January, so many people accused Chinese government of wasting 1 or 2 weeks. Now it is revealed to the world that our government wasted at least 2 months. Yes, 2 months. It follows a week after week that we saw our president repeatedly hit out at China, lack of transparency, especially regarding the outbreak and China's official coronavirus figures.
He's working really hard.
But we all know that from the beginning he praised China's effort and transparency many times. On January 24th, our president told us as follows. China has been working very hard to contain the coronavirus. The United States greatly appreciates their efforts and transparency. It will all work out well, in particular on behalf of the American people. I want to thank President Xi, the president's own words. On January 29th, our president admitted that he has received a briefing on coronavirus in China. In February, our president's comments again and again showed that he was satisfied with China's work in handling the coronavirus outbreak. Some presses, such as CNN, identified at least 30 separate instances where Trump praised China since January. Now, with the coronavirus out of control in the U.S., our president has changed his rhetoric and repeatedly criticized China and the WHO. For example, WHO, or the WHO, is accused of China-centric.
They seem to be very China-centric.
And failing to objectively assess the emergency of the situation. So our president has decided to suspend
And
funding
we're going
to
to put a hold on money
WHO.
spent to the WHO. We're going to put a very powerful hold on it.
But we could not
Personally,
ignore that
I think myself
WHO is
and the
delivering the
Director
same
General
information
have never
as the
seen
president.
the scale,
WHO
commitment
is just to
of
confirm
an
and
epidemic
praise
response
China's
at
effort
this level.
in fighting
with a highly
the disease.
organized emergency management structure.
With the coronavirus in the United States getting worse, the president has chosen to ignore what he said. Our president needs to respond to our questions and give us some good explanations, I think. Why some countries' death rate and total cases are lower than the United States. These countries, such as Korea, Japan, Singapore, etc., are closer to China than the US. And they received China's coronavirus warning report at the same time. Why Wuhan is the only city in China with a serious outbreak? The coronavirus spread beyond the city of Wuhan, obviously, but it has not so far caused major outbreaks in Beijing, Shanghai, or other metropolises. On the contrary, the coronavirus has rapidly spread throughout the U.S. and reached all 50 states. Besides the most serious states of New York, many states have declared emergencies and exceeded 30,000 confirmed cases. And the charts show this. Consequently, there must be some significant difference in governance mode between China and the U.S., and each governance mode is associated with different culture. For instance, in East Asia, many people are used to wearing masks when they step outside the door. But in other parts of the world, it still seems acceptable to walk around barefaced. Maybe serious reasons could account for the biggest outbreaks in the United States. So our president should own his own actions firstly, I think. At the same time, he should still have much to respond to.
We are demanding to invoke the Defense Production Act so that all of our factories can be spinning out PPE for us.
And initial carelessness, a continuing lack of overall policy, a failure to fully cooperate with international medical
Funding of
institutions,
the World Health
and a
Organization
campaign to
while in
blame
review.
China and the WHO for the crisis. Making America great again is not to lose friends and make more enemies, I think. The United States could recognize that the virus is the true enemy. To conquer this enemy, the international coordination and collaboration is still compelling. So, again, we have to battle this disease and win.